Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently doing much better economically. It's not perfect, but it is much better. We're going to get a turnaround, I think, fairly soon on our finances, which is really good because we built up a lot of debt, and that's fine. We're 5 years away from getting all of this construction done. The question is, do we really want to spam this many wheat farms in Mendoza? I don't know if we want to actually do this. I'm going to cancel maybe a page or two of these. So let's do something like that, and then cancel to about here for now. Hawaii back down in a diplomatic play against Great Britain. Okay, that seems fine. I do want to get to these power plants fairly soon. So we're backing off a little bit on the wheat farms, and it should be something a bit more akin to this. I do want to, I think, move up the power plants and intersperse. So the question is, when do we want to do that? After we finish these iron mines is, I think, the time to do that. So here in about 12 weeks at this point. So that seems fine. And we're still working on enacting total separation as well. We don't really have anything that we can do militarily up over here unless this situation has changed. And it kind of hasn't. So there's nothing to do there. What do we have going on with Bolivia? Well, Bolivia's liberty desire is actually going down quite a lot now. Economic dependence on Overlord is getting significantly better. So that looks good. Median has endorsed the total separation. That sounds phenomenal. And our health system has gone up to level 3. Also in the category of phenomenal. So we're going to be seeing pretty decent population growth. And that's very good. We're also seeing our standard of living just skyrocket right now. And that is phenomenal. So if we check in at our legitimacy is 75. That's not amazing, but it's okay, I guess. So this iron mine is going to be done in 4 weeks. And Mendoza is still minus 8.6 construction efficiency. Why is that? Is that just turmoil? No, that is because it's in the Andes. There's nothing we can do about it. It just is what it is there. Okay, that is noted. So that seems fine. I would definitely like to start bringing up, at this point, these power plants. So I'm going to do exactly that. We're going to bring up every single power plant here, and this is only one power plant per state, is what we're building here. This is the vast majority of our construction time. But I'm going to be interspersing these. So we're going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for now. And of course, we're going to have these power plants be interspersed something along the lines of this. We're going to be working on these, and actually I want to move this iron mine up to the top for right now. This wheat farm should be moved up as well to be placed here, with this wheat farm being moved down for the time being. And I'm going to move up one more power plant as well. Do we want that here? Kind of. Okay, so a lot of these are going to be pretty slow to build. These power plants are going to be a big investment, but look at this. We're actually making money at this point. We're going to start paying down our debt, and our interest is going to start turning around. This is going to be really good for us economically. So this is looking excellent. We're going to finish up this wheat farm. We should definitely move these guys up like so. This is going to be a fairly high maintenance thing to keep this the way it is. These power plants, they're going to take a while. That is absolutely understood, but electrification is going to be a very good thing for us. This is possibly going to cause some issues with our engine production. We'll keep an eye on that. However, I think that we can expand our engine production fairly easily just by hiring, so it should be relatively fine. Total separation, we're about to get another roll on, and let's see. Are we still colonizing down here? We are. We hit a debate here. Let's see if the petite bourgeoisie will compromise. And they actually will. So that is wonderful. We're going to finish up another wheat farm here shortly, but we're building fairly slowly on the wheat farms at this juncture. We're working on the power plants primarily. I do want to bring this power plant up, and we're going to position that about here. But we are going to need to continue to bring up these wheat farms, which is not at all surprising. It's going to take a while to get this all done, right? That's for sure. This wheat farm can be brought up a bit to be, you know, up over here. And we can actually probably leave it here. It's probably completely, it's definitely okay to leave it here. There's not going to be an issue with that. The telephone has been unlocked, and that leads to radio and electrics industries. That is good. We are going to need access to that. We're going to have some electrics before we switch over, but we've got plenty of bureaucracy right now. So I'm not too concerned about that, actually. At the moment, it looks pretty good. So this power plant wants to be moved up like so. We're going to need to move up more wheat farms eventually. But for now, I'm relatively happy with our current situation. We can see our GDP is still soaring, but these power plants are going to stifle our GDP growth a little bit for some amount of time. I'm okay with that. This is a more long-term investment, so that is fine. We know that our GDP growth is going to flatten out a bit. And as we check in here, yeah, our unemployment is very low. Our peasant numbers are holding about even. Yeah. Okay, so that's reasonably fine. I'm not too concerned about that. We'll just have to keep moving up some of these wheat farms. It's definitely going to be a little bit painful, but not the end of the world. A campaign of banquets, huh? Actually, yeah, this is fine. Sure. Up to 54%. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So our amount of radicalism is dropping, although not very sharply outside of that law change that we did. So that is noted. And total separation, that won't really be a big change for us in terms of radicalism. It might be a decent legitimacy change. We'll see what that ends up looking like. Okay, we definitely need to move up this wheat farm, and we're just going to do something kind of like this. This is not surprising that we're building these wheat farms considerably faster than we're building the power plants. This is not surprising at all. But we've got a bunch of them to go yet, and we've got 5 years in this construction queue, allegedly. I'm not sure if that's actually particularly true. What is going on in Mato Grosso? Looks like there's a lot of turmoil there. And Amazon rainforest. It's mostly Amazon rainforest. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's going to be pretty slow in the Amazon, but that's not surprising. We know that that's a big malice, so that is absolutely okay. We're going to finish up another wheat farm here in 2 weeks, and we're definitely seeing surplus growth. That's great. I want to continue to pay down our interest for a while here, and just running this surplus is, I think, completely okay. I'm not going to look to expand our construction sectors anytime soon. I'm reasonably content with where we are here. We are going to need to continue to bring up these wheat farms, of course. We've only got 4 left that we brought up, and that is understood. Okay, so total separation progresses to study. We're very, very pleased with that. Checking in on Bolivia here, it's going down by 0.14. Economic dependence is continuing to be a thing. I like it. That looks solid. And also, we're definitely seeing our standard of living coming up here. The most important thing here is that we're keeping those unemployment numbers quite low. And the peasant numbers are actually dropping a little bit as well, I think. We'll keep an eye on that, but I suspect that's happening with all of this wheat farm construction. It should be happening, so that sounds good. We are going to finish up our first couple of power plants here. And that is very, very good. But these power plants, there's not going to be a lot of demand for them right now. This is going to be, okay, people are moving from our country to Midlands. That's rude. But whatever. This is going to be, like I said, a long-term project, getting all these power plants put in, as well as getting demand for the power. So this is going to be pretty net negative for us economically for a little bit here. We're going to see our GDP flattening out a bit. And we're also going to see our finances getting a little bit worse, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned about it. We're definitely going to be seeing these interest payments going down, and that is very useful. We definitely need to have that happen. So that's very good. Bolivia is now aloof instead of defiant. That's nice. We're very happy about that. Military statistics, huh? Advanced tactics training. Okay. And luxurious supplies. So we can go into our... Let's see. That would be in our development? Yes. Our barracks can go down to advanced tactics training. Plus 16.9k from current. Okay, we would definitely like that. And of course, the conscription center doesn't change anything. Do we want to be on an industrial port? We would need a bunch of steamers. I think for the moment we're going to not do that. We're on clippers for the current moment. And what would we need to change over to steamers? We would need to go to our shipyards and switch these over to steamships. That's going to absolutely spike the price of engines and steel and coal. I think for the moment we're going to remain on clippers, but we are going to want to angle to do that eventually. Okay, so we've got another wheat farm finishing up. This is looking good for now. And of course, we've got a bunch of power plants still in here. That is not at all surprising. Human rights unlocked, huh? Okay, so we can unlock compulsory primary school, multiculturalism, protected speech, workers' protections, old age pension. That gives us a lot of fairly decent laws there, as well as a max social security investment, which we might want to do, actually. We're not paying much on welfare right now. 237. It's kind of irrelevant, actually. So let's get going on that. That sounds good. Our health system is going to go up in 3 weeks as well. That seems really, really great. We are going to need to move up some additional wheat farms, and we're going to do exactly that. I'm going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to move all of them up. So we're going to do something like that. Then, of course, these power plants, they're going to need to come up. So this one, this wheat farm as well, this power plant comes up, and that seems good. Okay, so we're going to need to move up a couple of these power plants. I'm going to move 2 up. And, of course, we're going to do this number. But these power plants are then going to get interspersed with wheat farms, and we're going to have to move these wheat farms up as we did before as they finish. I want to just be putting 2/3 of our production into power plants and 1/3 into wheat farms at any given time. That's the way I want this to go right now. So that seems fine. What is this event? The minor interest? Okay, we hit a debate here. We could back the industrialists here, and that would be interesting. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, that seems fine. So the industrials left enact technocracy over that, and that seems very good. France is now guaranteeing us, which is nice of them. Not really necessary, but it is definitely nice of them. Our home affairs investment goes up to 5. That's really solid. And we're still doing pretty well on our bureaucracy for right now. So I'm reasonably content with our current situation. Plus 27.4k means that maybe we could consider a tax cut. No, not currently. But once we pay off a little bit more debt, we can do a tax cut. Oil has been discovered in Bajo Paraguay. Sounds good. And wheat farms in Mendoza are finishing yet again. No shockers here, of course. We'll get that completed. And we'll get started on this next wheat farm. So I just want to keep moving these up like so. It gets a little messy once we get down here, and that's understood. We're going to continue to work on these at about a 3-to-1 ratio. So that seems fine. Still 5 years on this construction queue. I'm not sure that I agree with that. It shouldn't still be 5 years. Maybe that's a rounding issue, but it should definitely be a little sooner than that, I think, by this point. Okay, Netherlands going up is fine. Our approval with Netherlands, sure. Belgium's not happy with us, but, you know, we don't actually care about Belgium. We've got Netherlands right here, so that kind of matters. And also Great Britain. So there's that. We're going to be backing off on our colonization very soon. We're almost done colonizing, so there's very little left to be done there. That sounds good. This wheat farm is going to finish, and we'll just move up this wheat farm as soon as it's done. Perfect. Just something like that. Excellent. More power plants are going to be finishing up soon-ish. But we definitely need to continue to work on our electrification. We just need we just need power plants in every single state, and that will take a few years to get done. Now, electrical capacitors have been unlocked. That gives us access to using electricity for a number of things. We're going to need to have electricity in the state, of course, before we can use the electricity. We're working on it. So that seems fine. Total separation is voting right now, and does that pass? No, but it does hit an advance. Cool. Plus 5% qualifications actually sounds pretty good. So we'll do that for now. And our interest is still at 27.4K. So if we look at how much we're paying in interest right now, it is definitely going down, but we haven't really hit the exponential curve on this yet. We will get there. Every week, we're paying less and less on interest as we pay off our debt. So we're paying down the principal of the debt right now, and that is very, very good. These power plants are finishing up, but I'm still going to move these up like so, and then we'll have to reorient this once this power plant finishes. And that seems fine. So this power plant gets moved up, this power plant gets moved up, and then this one would actually get placed here. So that seems good for now, but we're going to have to reorient them again here in 1 week, and that is fine. It's just a little tedious. I wish that we could have, like, multiple parallel construction queues and allocate, like, percentages to each queue. That would be a really convenient thing. Unfortunately, that is definitely not the way it works right now. It'd be great if it was. But we'll just continue to move these up about like so. Our GDP is still growing a little faster than I expected it to, but you can definitely see it's beginning to level out there, and that is fairly expected. No, we'll make Brazilians of them yet. More education access, more assimilation is good. The landowners aren't going to be happy, but, you know, it's fine. So this wheat farm needs to be moved up, as does these, and this power plant can be placed about right here. There's total separation. Excellent. So the government petition has been successfully completed. The question now is, what's our legitimacy? 85. That's not bad. With 85 legitimacy, if we did a tax cut, that would bring us up to righteous government, but just barely. So that's noted. Yeah, as expected, it wasn't a big loyalist drop, but our number of loyalists and radicals are getting pretty close to being even. So I'm pretty content with where we're at politically right now. The question is, do we want to go for any other big law changes now that we have human rights? So that means that we can go over to, like, compulsory private school. Industrialists would oppose it, but it seems okay. 31% chance of success. I would love to expand our literacy access, our education access. 160.9 uncapped. We can get more innovation. So that is going to be a grand total of like 4 universities. It's not going to be very much. Each of these is 3 innovation, and we need to get like 13, right? So that's like 5 universities. Okay, so we can put these in Pernambuco. What is the construction speed going to be here? Hang on, let's find out. Yeah, that's okay. So Pernambuco is absolutely fine. We'll put in 5 universities there, but I want to put in a power plant, then a university, then a wheat farm. Like this. Then a power plant, then a university, then a wheat farm. And we just continue to cycle it like that until we're through the universities. We definitely still want to be working on these power plants. So I'm going to move up this wheat farm here, and that is going to go here. Then we would need to move a power plant up about like this. So power plant, then university, then wheat farm. And then this would end up being a power plant like this. And then we'll have to move more things up at that point. But we can continue to work on this like so. So that seems reasonably fine. We definitely do want to get a little bit more innovation. We are above our cap. Preserve child labor, huh? Okay, well, that's just the industrialists being industrialists. That's fine for now. Cool, so we're definitely building faster at this point. This is down to 4 years despite the addition of 5 universities. So that sounds great. Now, the private construction queue is building slower Like, we're building up the investment pool right now. We're not fully utilizing this. So we should make the argument that construction should be expanded. That is the argument that should be made here. But by how much? I'm going to expand it by 2 in Minas Gerais, and we'll see what that feels like. In theory, that'll be 12K. We'll still continue paying down our debt, in theory. But let's see what that does. I don't want to expand it too aggressively here, but that's definitely the argument that should be made since we have all of this money piling up in our investment pool. We should definitely be expanding our construction at this point. Our economy is in a position where it can handle it, so we should. So those are now completed, and we're going to bump this up. We're now getting 214 instead of 205, and it should go a little higher than that, right? Each of these construction sectors is currently 10 construction, so it should go to 225. We're at 223 right now. 228? Right, because of economy of scale. So that is fine. It'll go a little higher than 225. Cool. So our law progresses up to study here, and that does, of course, mean that we are making solid progress here. This is now down to 3 years. 34.7K. Really? Fascinating. So the question now is, do we need to continue to expand our construction? Okay, 18.3K, that's more like what I expected it to be at. I think we do expand our construction, but I don't think it's yet. Expanding our construction is definitely a thing we should do. Maybe like every time we pass, say, 20K in the surplus, and we're there relatively steadily, we should consider building one additional construction sector, or something along those lines. Because getting additional construction going would absolutely be phenomenal for us. The problem, of course, comes in where we don't want to overbuild it, because we're already pretty leveraged on debt, and paying off our debt would be very, very good. No doubt about that. So our power plants in Santa Catarina are finishing up right about now. That is very good. Excellent. And we're still working on a bunch of universities here. So we've got 4 universities still to go. Okay. So that's definitely taking some time. We are bringing up our innovation cap. 64.6 uncapped right now. Okay. Oil has been discovered in Araucania. That will be useful eventually, but for right now, it's not, strictly speaking, useful. Gold rush, huh? Gold has been discovered in Araucania. Cool. So the question is, do we have any gold mines? Probably not. Yeah, that's usually when the gold field gets exhausted that the gold mine can be built. So that's okay for now. We're definitely okay with continuing to have this finance situation, right? This is really, really good. We're in a very good spot economically right now. I like it. We'll continue to expand our construction, but it's not the biggest of priorities. The biggest priority right now is paying down our debt. So we want to make sure that we are always positive in our surplus. Okay, sure. We'll get 10% enactment success chance on compulsory primary school. Sounds great. And we're continuing to work on these power plants and universities. It'll continue for a while here. We are going to need to bring up livestock ranches and all of these other things, interspersing all of that. But that is a medium-term goal at this point. Cool. Do we have any issues with goods? We have no shortages right now. Engines are at 28. Okay. This is all pretty expected, to be honest. Our private construction is actually building an electrics industry. That's pretty neat. I like it. We don't have much in terms of demand for that, of course, but that's fine. Let's see here. More pops that are Amazonian becoming more loyalist, I guess. Seems okay. Our radicalism is definitely trending downward, and our loyalists are trending upward. That's all fantastic. Oil has been discovered in Patagonia. Wonderful. We're of course very pleased about that, and we could consider moving some of these up. I'm going to leave it where they're at though. I'm pretty content with this situation. We're almost done with our university constructions, but it is time to put a cut in here. As expected, our surplus is trending downward. That is definitely what we expected to see here, so that is okay. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Tommy Kintogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.